Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1.
Thank you for joining us this morning. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. Got an exciting show today. We're going to talk about success. How do you define it? Who decides who's successful? And are you letting others decide something as important as whether or not you are successful? Have to think about that one. We have some observances this month. For instance, today is the International Day of Charity. International Day of Charity. And it's an observance that takes place every year on September 5th. And it's declared by the United Nations General Assembly starting in 2012. And the prime purpose is to raise awareness and provide common platforms for charity. What's the old saying? Charity begins at home and spreads abroad. So if you're an individual with a philanthropic heart, and then this day is for you. So think about ways that you can be more charitable in your day-to-day lives, in your businesses, so you can volunteer and get out here and help others and realize that it's not all about us. We are a community. This world we live in, we have to help and support each other. So I'm happy to support and acknowledge International Day of Charity. Some other observances this month is National Courtesy Month. So let's be courteous. Let's be chivalrous. And let's go out here and be nice to people on this National Courtesy Month during the month of September. It's also Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. It's Self-Improvement Month. And it's also Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Now that last one, prostate cancer awareness, is very near and dear to many people, including myself. And I'll be the first one to say that nobody should die from prostate cancer because of their socio-economic status or for lack of knowledge. And too many people have suffered and left this earth prematurely because they did not take preventive actions or they did not receive early diagnosis. So the artist, award-winning songwriter Montel Jordan, he's the global brand ambassador for this group called Zero, and their goal is to fight prostate cancer. If you don't know who Montel Jordan is, there was a hit back in the early 2000s. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. But anyway, he used his own words. He said, "I want to use my voice to help save lives because this is truly how we do it. Breaking down the barriers to prevent the most risk and those who are not getting screened." We just seen that former President Biden was diagnosed with prostate cancer. I've seen many people close to me. Mr. Joe Madison, he passed away a little over a year and a half ago. We saw Lou Gossett, we saw Dexter King. Many people have succumbed to this disease, and it is preventable. The disease itself may not be preventable, but you can get diagnosed early and take some steps to reduce your risk. Such things as getting your PSA. PSA is a simple blood test. When you're getting men, you go and get your blood tested. When you're getting checked for other things like diabetes, go ahead and get that PSA test at the same time. So I'm going to spend a little time talking about this prostate cancer, because it's Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and because, like I said, it's near and dear to me and many others. There's about 3.3 million men right now living with prostate cancer, and about 70% have been diagnosed in the early localized stages with excellent prognosis. So that's where you want to be. If you want to get there, you want to get it early. Now, there are options that people are taking who have this disease: surgical options, radiation therapies, systemic treatments, and then there are emerging methods that many people are still being tested on right now. How do you get it? Who's most likely to get it? Well, the risk raises significantly after the age of 50. Race and genetics play a role on who might get it. For instance, African American men are more likely to get it than anybody else. But there are some factors that you can control, things like diet, reducing your saturated fats, increasing fruits and vegetables, having an active lifestyle, regular exercise, maintaining a healthy weight, and early screening. Listen up, men. Early screening. Get that PSA test. Some of you walking around right now, your PSA is probably going through the roof. But that doesn't mean just because your PSA is high doesn't mean that you're more likely to succumb to the disease. It just means that you need to get in and start getting treatment and find out if you have it. And once you find out you have it, you have, particularly if you detect it early, your options are greater. You want to get to it before it starts to metastasize and things like that. So yes, I'm going to talk about this prostate cancer day on Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'd like to see it eradicated completely. Too many good people have succumbed to it. Too many people are walking around with it right now. They need to go ahead and get tested. I'm going to ask the ladies out here to talk to the men in your lives. Just tell them Gatewood from the marketing pulpit, or Professor Gatewood, or Arthur Gatewood said, go get tested. I was tested by almost accident. I was one of those people who felt that I've eaten right, I'm living a good life. They're talking about somebody else. They're not talking about me. I went to get tested for something else. Plain old simple test. And one of the doctors said, go ahead and get your PSA tested while you're there. All right, go ahead, but I'm good. I don't feel any pain. Well, unfortunately, that PSA test came back very high. I mean, it was like skyrocket, almost off the charts. So this prostate cancer can be a silent killer, but it doesn't have to be. I was diagnosed in time. I'm going through the process. I feel fine, have my energy, I'm still working, and I know many other people who are going through the process. Some people may be sitting next to you. Most people don't talk about it. The only reason I'm raising this topic today is because I want people to get screened. Early diagnosis can save your life. Right now, there's about a 96% 5-year, they call it 5-year, 98% 5-year survival rate. That means the people that are being diagnosed right now because of early detection, the likelihood that they're going to live for another 5 years or more is 98%. That is thanks to early detection. That's why I'm ringing this bell. I will continue to raise it and ring it. So, particularly you brothers out there, African American men, prostate cancer has a target on your back. Go today. If you can't go today, go on Monday. Make your appointment today. Just go get a PSA blood test. I know men sometimes get squeamish about some of the tests. They're going to stick a finger somewhere or poke you somewhere. You don't want to be poked. Well, before you get to that point, just get the plain, simple blood test. That is very easy. Get the results. Then you have some time to exhale and think about your options. But don't let fear or rumors or urban legends prevent you from taking this very important test. Okay? That's it for now. I'm going to talk about it all month though. Thank you for listening, Sister Marsha out of Texas. Worthy conversation. Thank you. I think so too. Good morning, Brother Brown, greatest plumber in town. And good morning to everyone. Good morning to the regular listeners. Good morning to the new people who are tuning in. We're talking about, our topic today is going to be, are you successful? And according to whom? But before we get to that, we're going to talk about a couple of quick items in the news. Let's see. What's going on in the news today? The Marketing Pulpit Show, we bring you resources. We bring you items that are happening in the news. If you're a business owner, this is the show to tune into every week. Couple of quick news stories. Then we get to our sermon for today on who determines your success. Warner Brothers has sued an AI firm called Midjourney for copyright infringement of its intellectual property. This story is going to play itself out constantly in the months and years ahead. Who owns the rights to these things that we're seeing on AI? Are they using your intellectual property for AI training, or some people being more blatant and even actually using your actual images, your voices? So that's a story we're going to keep following. So if you are using AI, just know that information had to come from somewhere. And so Warner Brothers is actually kind of, doing a shot across the bow for these AI companies. So Mr. Brown is chiming in on the story we just talked about, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. He said the exam is not that bad. I've been getting physicals, including prostate, for over 50 years. Started while serving in the military. That's right, Mr. Brown. It's not that bad at all. It's a little shot. That's how to determine your PSA. And that determines, they can determine from your blood your risk factor for developing cancer, or whether you already had it. Nike is changing its slogan from just do it to why do it. So they're asking this, they're putting this new tagline out here for new generations. So for many years, people just use that slogan. You saw it on Michael Jordan and all these icons who represent Nike, just do it. Now they're asking a very important question. Why do it? I like that because it gets people off the pot. It gets people into their purpose, their reason for being, their raison d'etre. And so a lot of times we do things because We're following the crowd. We're impacted by social proof, hurry mentality, fear of missing out, desire to belong. Well, Nike is putting that question out there. I think it's a good one. Why do it? Why are you doing what you're doing? That's a good lead into our topic for today as well, which is success. Are you successful? I just marinate on that for a minute while we take a break. When we come back, we're going to break that down a minute. We're going to ask you, are you successful? How do you know if you're successful? Who determines you're successful? What are the parameters of success? So hang on for a second. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we'll see you in about 30 seconds. Thank you. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood. You were just listening to the theme music of the Marketing Pulpit show, written by yours truly, Robert Gatewood, and produced by my brother, Daniel Gatewood. So trying to keep it in the family. I love family-owned businesses. Reminds me of BLE Executive Suites. From where this show has been broadcast from, in one of their studios. Over at Gatewood Marketing. And they have the 3 locations, one in National Harbor, one in Largo, Maryland, and one in College Park, which is a hub zone. It's a family-owned business. Founded by Miss Bernadette Clay. She has the sons, Langston and Eddie. That makes the BLE. So if you need some services such as office space, virtual services, accounting services, training rooms, mailboxes, phone services, call them at 301-322-1700 or go to blesuites.com. They are also the sponsor of the First Friday networking event. As a matter of fact, it's taking place today. If you're in the DC area, come on out to 9701 Apollo Drive in Largo, Maryland. I'll be there. Ms. Clay and I have put this event together. And we do it every month. 11:30 in the afternoon, in the morning, runs up about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We have food, free parking, great group of people. About 30 people show up on average. Panera bread, food, lunch. Matter of fact, Miss Bernadette Clay is going to be the speaker today. She's going to talk about tax, give out some tax tips. And so I'm looking forward to that. So come on out. I'll be there. I'll greet you at the door, as I do every first Friday of the month. Are you successful? How do you measure success beyond material gains? The reason I talked about this, I was talking to someone the other day, and they looked successful by all of the normal measurements of success. Fancy car, nice clothes. I'm not sure what kind of house they live in, but they looked successful to me. But they came to me and my company because by their own admission, they were not as successful as they felt they should be. Sales were off. Bank account was low. Debt was high. And because of that, they were kind of wicked, down in the mouth. They weren't feeling good about themselves. So I had to put on my therapist hat, my counselor hat for a minute. And so let's look a little deeper here. What else do you have going on? You're talking about the debt you have, and the lack of money that's coming in. And what else have you done with your life? Well, I got my degree, my advanced degree a few years ago. I volunteer every week at the soup kitchen. All my kids have graduated with honors. I'm like, hold on, slow down. Before you go find a leg to jump off, and before I get into trying to help your business and increasing your bank, let's take a minute to look at the successes that you already have. And once we start to dig into it a little bit, the person's entire attitude changed. I'm like, don't let other people determine whether or not you're successful. So if you're looking for a life of disappointment, if you're looking for a life of sorrow, let other people define success for you. I'm going to say that again in a different way. Happiness will be fleeting if you let other people determine whether or not you're successful. I, like many, came out of school. I had this idea of what success looked like. Man, after a few years, I realized I was like a mouse on a treadmill. I'm just running around chasing these elusive goalposts. Every time I get to one place, I think I'm finally successful. The game changes. I'm like, I'm there. Next thing I know, wait a minute, hold on. I thought I was successful, but look at me now. I'm worse off than I was. Well, I'm worse off how? Because I have less money in the bank? Because I'm driving a different car than I did when I was so-called successful? It's time to measure your success beyond material trappings, particularly in these times, because now you don't think nobody's successful. When people are losing jobs and having to go back and change their lifestyles, and all their trappings of success are being taken away. Does that mean you're no longer successful? No, it just means you're hanging your hat on the wrong barometer. So the traditional view of success is money, possessions, status symbols, things like that. But the deeper truth is success comes from personal fulfillment, genuine happiness, and the positive impact we bestow upon the world. It's not an oversimplification to say true measurement of success could be how happy you are. Are you happy? You may not be happy because of the way you have measured success. But when you think about, you go back and do an inventory of what you've accomplished, it might be time to be happy and declare yourself successful. I'm going to break it down I'm going to do this quickly and break it down into some categories to kind of go back, let you go back and reimagine what success looks like. Let's look at your personal growth and life accomplishments. Are you learning new skills that expand your capacities and capabilities? New crafts, things you hadn't done before. Have you accomplished something recently that expanded your capabilities? Have you overcome obstacles, fears, breaking bad habits? Maybe stop smoking, stop drinking, stop hanging out all night, stop overspending. Or have you pursued passions, some of your wildest dreams? You tackled them, you realized them. Look at your own success story. It does not have to be written by others. You can write your own success story. You went back to school, you got a degree. You started a business. You put your child through school. You paid off your car. These are successes, and they compound like interest. Look at your life, the impact you've made through contributions and philanthropy, volunteering. I know a young man, I talk to him a lot. He's like a family member. I almost have to tell him, do you have to volunteer for everything? He has set a different calculation of what success means to him. He's at the food bank, he's at the library. He's impacting people's lives. Building community, whether it's a personal community, business community, homeowners community, building a community that sometimes can have global implications. These small acts compound. Human connection. Are you touching lives? We're talking about success and how we need to get out of this rat race and start looking at success differently. Don't let other people determine whether or not you're successful. Respect. Another measurement of success. Genuine respect. I've gone through, as a business owner, anybody who's on the business has probably had a similar journey. There's some days the money's just not there. You have to say to yourself, what the heck did I decide to do this for? I could have gotten me a good government job. The way things are going right now, that may not have been a good idea in this particular environment. But what I did do, I didn't take much stock in it at the moment, is that I was building a reputation of integrity. And when the money fades, when the fancy cars get repossessed, that respect and integrity, as long as you don't compromise, it's still going to be there. Character reflects profound success that money cannot buy. Are you inspiring others? Look back over the years, look back last month, last week. Volunteering time, mentoring, coaching, building those meaningful relationships. These are success items. Don't let others determine or define your success. If you want a life of misery and heartbreak, keep letting other people determine whether or not you are successful or not. And don't just jump up here and say I'm successful and you haven't done anything. You have to earn it. But not for others, but for yourself. And you know, I'm just helping you dig down inside and acknowledge the successes that you've already earned. The relationships you've built over the years. Sometimes those relationships, not just for yourself, but you building relationships for others, helping others network, and collaborate. Think about my buddy William. Man, if he doesn't make another dollar in his life, he can say he's successful by the number of people he's connected. And I know because I've been the beneficiary of many of those connections. Don't let others determine or define your success. So success is deeply personal. It's a journey. It nourishes your soul. Integrity, purpose, authenticity. Building that long-lasting legacy. Not just something that's fleeting, like buying a car or going on a trip. Just looking at your bank account. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I say you have to balance that though, because you do have to grow. And many times if you're building a business, you're investing, those things can help you towards your altruistic goals. But they can't be the only barometer that determines whether or not you're successful. So I'm going to conclude by saying success is your story to write. You write that story by your own personal growth, the impact you have in the world, the relationships you build, and the positive differences you make in this world. And once you do that, many of you under the sound of my voice, you are successful already beyond measures. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you again for tuning in to the Marketing Pulpit. I am Robert Gatewood, your host. All you men out there, get down to the doctor, get those PSA tests. It's quick and easy. To all the ladies out there, take these men, grab them by the collar, whatever you have to do. Tell them you're taking them on a date and drive up to the center. Whatever we have to do. This is serious. This is a emergency among Black men. I want you guys to be around. And whatever I can do to make that happen, I'm going to use this platform to do it. All right, I'll be back next week, same time here on the Marketing Pulpit Show. Go to marketingpulpit.com. You can listen to the replays of the shows immediately. Also on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. And I want to say thanks again to everybody who's tuning in today. And if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you must do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.